Good morning, investors and traders. This is Naeem Aslam, Chief Market Analyst at AvaTrade, and welcome to our daily technical analysis video. Today, we are going to do something a bit different. We are going to look at stocks, and we're going to look at some major stocks which I'm sure that you know of them, and then you hear about these stocks in financial news or in the tier one media. So what are the stocks? These are your Netflix, Amazon, Goldman Sachs, Boeing, and Tesla. So let's have a look at those potential buy and sell levels for these particular stocks, and then see if there's an opportunity to get back into the trade, or perhaps to book some profit in relation to these particular stocks. But before we do that, as always, it is important for us to go through the slide of disclaimers and risk warnings. Anything which we'll be discussing in this video cannot be perceived as an advice. If you are seeking for one, please do consider consulting with your own advisors. Now, as always, I'm going to bring out the MT4 platform. So let's begin by looking at one particular stock which is famous than any other stock these days, and that is your Tesla. Remember, in our webinar, the masterclass that I did yesterday, we also looked at Tesla stock yesterday in that one as well. So the chart that you are seeing right in front of you, this doesn't really necessarily mean that the price has actually gone down by from $2,200 to all the way to $429. In fact, this is more of a stock split, and that is the reason that she's seeing that the stock drop into it. Now, in order to see the real reflection of the stock, that where the actual stock price is trading, what I'm going to do to make things a little bit easier, I'm going to bring out my Bloomberg platform for you guys to show you, just to show in comparison that where the stock is in relation to its all-time high. Now, first of all, as you can see in pink right over here, this is your 50-day simple moving average. Then in green, it is your 100-day moving average. And then finally, your 200-day moving average. Clearly, the price is trading well above all important moving averages, which is very positive. Now, on a daily time frame, and on the daily time frame, as we have over here, there is no doubt that the stock is trading in an upward trend. Why? Because the stock price is trading above its 50-day moving average, and that trend has been very much in place since, let's say, early May. But let's just say the early mid-April, because ever since the stock has traded in above its 50-day moving average, with an exception of 2 points right over here when the price came back and revisited its 50-day moving average, and then we had another pullback, and now the stock is again trading to the upside. So the question is, where do we go from here? Where are those important support and resistance levels are? So right now, looking at the chart, this is the area where you can have a potential, your first support zone. So that level is going to be where let's just say between 370. Now, in terms of us to be a little bit more confident of a particular trend, what we can love to see is the price breaking above this downward trend line. Because right now we have this symmetrical triangle formed for the price action, as you can see, and then these symmetrical triangle patterns, they usually break to the upside in an upward trend. So if they break to the upside, that would be great, because that means the price can easily go all the way to 800. Currently, Tesla is trading at 425, as you can see right over here. This is the price. The projection, the new projection for the price for Tesla, as I said earlier, it could be, if the projection really works, it can easily push the price all the way to 800 or at least 700 if this particular pattern works out the way that we're kind of thinking or anticipating that it will. Now, let's get back to our other stocks and move on from Tesla to, let's say, Netflix. Now, Netflix stock is also very, very interesting. Again, this is your 50, this is your 100, this is your 200. Now, when we look at the stock over here, once again, what we wanted to see in terms of Netflix price is the price is trading below this down trend line, right? So this is the sort of a downward trend line that we wanted to do. And then in order to draw a trend line, all what you have to do is to join lower lows like the way that I have done. So the price has started to move higher because obviously the price came into this important area of support. Let me just draw that. So that important area of support was right over here. So the price came into this area of support, and then it's violated it slightly, but that doesn't really matter because you'll have that much of a support at the stop loss anyway. But ever since the price has started to break to the upside, the prices has started to move higher, just like over here that the price is doing, right? So now the question is that, okay, we are moving higher. Where do we take our profits? Where do we start booking our profits? Now, let me define our support zone once again, but because now, given the fact that the price has moved a bit too high from its current price, so for me, the immediate support level is going to be between 494 to 593, and Netflix price is trading currently at 534. The immediate resistance is going to be right on top of these candles, which is 548 to 557, followed by that all-time high for Netflix, which is right over here to 570, let's say, 576 or so. So that is the price level. So once again, to recap with Netflix, the support zone that we are really looking at is right over here. The take profit or to short is going to come right over here. Now, let's have a look at Amazon, because Amazon's price has been also quite intriguing. And again, in our masterclass, we discussed that yesterday. So what we're looking at with respect to Amazon is that the prices has started to trade to the downside, because obviously this was your all-time high. The price has started to trade lower. It made a lower high, and then now we have another lower high. Now clearly the price is trading below its downward trend line. But what we also need to pay attention to is the following factors, which are as follow. First of all, that the price is completely in battle with its 50-day moving average. Now, if the price breaks above the 50-day moving average, that could be your opportunity to go to the upside. Under those circumstances, you may want to put your stop loss just under this particular candle, this candle right over here. And the other thing what we wanted to pay attention to is that look how the price respected its 100-day moving average. The price came over here into this important area of support, and then it bounced back up. Now currently, as you can see, the price is very much in battle with its 50-day moving average, but if it breaks above that, we may see a little bit of a resistance over here, but the next important price level is going to be your all-time high, which is right over here. So that is the price level that I will be very much looking at in terms of taking the profit if if one takes the trade on the breakout of that. So, you may want to take a small position out over here, but you may want to leave most of the position in, as this is the area where you want to take your next profit. However, if the price fails to break above this particular zone, then what we want to do then is that we wanted to prepare for a short trade. And for that short trade is going to be put a stop loss on top of this particular candle right over here, and then shoot for this particular zone. So let me define that stop loss one more time for you. So let me just zoom in a bit more over here. And I'm talking about this particular candle right over here. You may want to put a stop loss right over here. But I think it is very likely that we are going to break to the upside today with respect to 50-day moving average. So, the opportunity is really going to be to the upside rather than to the downside with respect to Amazon. Now, have a quick look at Boeing. What Boeing is again doing is Boeing is trading below its downward trend line. It is also trading below its two important moving averages, and of course your 200-day moving average as well. So this shows that there's still quite a lot of pressure with respect to Boeing. But in terms of your support zone, this is the level between 140 to 146. That is the price level that we are really looking at in terms of a price action, because we believe this is where the support is. But we really want the price to break above the 50-day moving average, because if it doesn't, then really the path of least resistance remains to the downside and potentially to the next support zone between 113 to 120. But let's just hope that today's price action, which is looking a bit bullish, and because the futures are looking bullish right now, it will help the stock price to break to the upside rather than to the downside. And we will see a move which can potentially push the market towards its next support resistance zone right over here. So that's about the price level with respect to Boeing. Now, Goldman Sachs is again trading below its downward trend line on the daily time frame. The price is clearly once again in battle with its to all the three important moving averages. But yesterday we had the confirmation right over here that look, the price broken above this one. So the next level of resistance in relation to the price, it remains right over here, right? Because this is the level that we kind of wanted to really focus on. But before that, we may see some sort of a resistance, some sort of a profit taking will make sense right around this level. But obviously, for the price to continue its journey to the upside, what we want to see is, first of all, the price breaking above this particular trend line, this area, this downward trend line. Because if it breaks that, then all what you gotta do is reduce your profit taking at here, leave more of your position, and then wait for the price to get back into this area of resistance. But the potential trade right here is putting a stop loss right under this candle, and then continue your movement, continue your upward journey with respect to this stock into here, and then from here to here. So these are the sort of price levels with respect to the Goldman Sachs trade that you may want to look at. Finally, just one extra stock, Google. Google is, it has dropped massively from its all-time high of 1700. Now it is trading at 1400. And see how the price has bounced from its, 200-day moving average. This is quite an intriguing one. So, for the Nasdaq rally to really continue and for the entire stock market rally to continue, we really want this particular level to hold. If this holds, then the next one we wanted to see is the price breaking above the 50, 100, and of course the 50-day moving average. So these are the price levels that we kind of wanted to see with respect to Google. And you know what? Going forward, we're going to make a routine of having a check of these particular stocks, because obviously these are very important stocks with respect to Nasdaq, which is your leading index for this coronavirus stock market rally. If the price fails to break above that, then really the price over here is going to target is 100, it is 200 and moving average again. And if this particular level doesn't hold, then we are going to continue our journey to the next level of support, which is 1325. So that is pretty much the play over here. All right, folks, that's all for today. And happy trading, stay safe, and I will speak to you guys next time. If you have any questions, feel free to comment over here or come on Twitter, and I'll be more than happy to answer your questions there. Thank you.